Danga the Jajarazon, Yamado, Luja, Banjan, Bas, Jalamba, Davar, Jibaka, Jajajabaja, Dunga, Jans, Durjan, Janjan, the Lonaro, Mabamala, Juja, Gumbo, Bamara, Javan, Gomba, Gajulaman, Jada, Jadan, Nazara, Tamjada, Lama, Lava, Jesus. Lo son yon den jam zo nga la wan ten zhe tong jin zhe bai ge le zo da ge lo. Ju san zhe wa ra xin jia lab de zo, ju lan den zhe wa ra xin jia lab de zo, lan zhe wa xie wa ra xin jia lab de zo, zhe wa yi xie san jia xin jia lab de zo, gang ge ten jian zhe wa ren jiang ga ba men ba jie men ba jie ba men ba da men ba wa men ba zhe. Ta de du men du jian me zhe ba nian xie xie dan ba zu bu san jie ma nan jie dan ba de la xiang zar du ren jie zi wa la ma jie jie ge zong du jie chen lan da ge jie lan bu de na ge dan ba dan sun jie jie dong jia jian ban zhe ba xin jie la du zo. Rồi ta hi gang la get a making rebu sosor Jong song sa te la tin pinzi na dan zozi ti ya ti inji na che ka ma song yo che.
That's what. So to clarify a little bit with this section with regard to virtue and non-virtue ripening individually or separately, this is really involving the two types of karma and with the two types of corresponding fruition of the propelling karma and the culminating karma. So also actually in what was explained before with regard to virtue, the four types of ripening, actually in the context of really these two divisions of karmic ripening of culminating and propelling causes. So as it says in the text, action or karma is taught to be twofold, propelling and culminating action. If analyzed, there are four alternatives. One, a propulsion driven by a virtuous action where the culmination is virtuous. Two, a propulsion that driven by non-virtue is driven by non-virtue where the culmination is non-virtue or non-virtuous or negative. Three, a propulsion that is virtuous, but the culmination is negative. A propulsion that is negative, but the culmination is virtuous. And then correspondingly, it goes on to say, so that's really kind of those four divisions that Khenpo was speaking of before, the four possibilities. That are claimed by others.
All right. Oh yeah. Then da tin he gong hu simbares. Then da dorji song juk jik bad. Jan chup sen ji le chor mesi song. Dan de yang jan chup sen shibandala da jancho sem ji roya ke jo ye yore tini di jo ye potelatine yang yin ke sumbala jancho ke sem de chonro yore songre yin yang Jikten sungun kender jancho sem de ji rogo yore di jo ye potelatine ji rogre ma to ke jancho sem chon rog mare so nyam rog mare so
And so the explanation for these this line were already explained before the break, and then so then this takes us to the 11th Vajra statement, which is except for there being the cause of forgetting, it is impossible that the resolve for awakening is lost. Or bodhicitta can be forgotten, but it is impossible, or it's not possible to lose it. And so generally there are, the claim here is that while bodhicitta can temporarily be forgotten, or one can become distant from it, despite that, it can't ever really be lost. And there are the 4 causes for temporarily forgetting bodhicitta. But the view of others, or what others claim, is that through these 4 causes, bodhicitta can actually be lost or be destroyed. But Lord Jikten Sumgön says it cannot actually be destroyed, it can only be temporarily forgotten.
Chuparu ba luas. Chuparu bene Khenpo ta lobong la soba tanjil lua. Tinin jupen ne mayin ba lan juba. Ta jupen ne mayin ba gewa la soba drum na telan juba terwa. Jupen ne mayin ba lan juba niba. Sumba te tini sem jibe jangsam la ngembar nawa. Samba sancho jo de sem jibe jangcho samba tanjil la tsing ngembar na mawa tang. Tini yin sem jin tamje la tini yoju chiba. Tela soba ke jirtang dala pa yewang ru siyo na juduk zan do na sungka yore de tsardun du di yipo de re di yipo de la ke le sapa la tine jancho sende ji ndok yore si mato di le yipo de la tine jancho samba de mar jancho ke semde chon ndok mara yeso.
Kongta Khenpo de debnang la tes kaka sung tu pacher. De nipa de garere?
Jupen ne mayen palan juba.
De jangchub semba ki korla zun lapa. Urebe, chikba rebe.
Chubaru ba lupa te ta jancho samba tanil zun la ba te chade yora.
Okay.
Juba tan zun ni tes lora. Tem korang nang den te jikden na Gong Chik rikhe tin na yo mare chu karin nan do.
De pacher dabo chirang sung yorewa de data de re de
Che pacher tin na chor mandro wa ki ye yore che te dang chorzi ge je ye yore te ni te san tho sare. Chorzi ge je ye te tel na na yore rikhe na da.
Okay, so tene yangchar dabo dangpo tenda de lama dang de chuba uba la luwa cheba tene
chubar ba luba jupen ne mayin balan juba semji be chansam la ngimbar mawa simjin la yoji chiba de endo
taso
chitang churo nang den tene da ye churo hin juni hin che yora
taso
da tene ngani yitin che la ro.
So there are these 4 main causes for temporarily distancing from or forgetting bodhicitta is to deceive the guru and those worthy of reverence. to feel regret or to have regret, where regret is not appropriate, or to feel regret about others' roots of virtue, to disparage a bodhisattva as someone who has generated bodhicitta, and to deceive sentient beings. And so generally there are these, actually there are 16, so these 4 actually are part of, or sort of branch into 16 in entirety. And each of them contributes to or becomes causes for forgetting or distancing from bodhicitta.
Ji royag jo yate ke chancho samden chor togmaris chor matobala tene do kuncho tsigbanana jumsin yesongda je garersena chancho samde nyamlin jidu mikba de sanje le mikba yinzang tene sanje de samje machab ne yimbechani chor togmaris donsin je Nipa de Sanjel me begeb zawa de geza de gedene geb zawa de denin korbe deji je separ munu baran yinji imbachani denin chor sigmaris ni de sumba de ta simjin tamjela ta deking nimbo ta yondrep zenan jura me deking nimbo de yuba yinzang Teni te tunsi yeba sumba de yeba de teni tis jancho sen glapan de teni da dara ngarang zu chutrum sum yorwa nichu domba simjin tunsi gewa chudu sumbo gangrong ke tin la kantar sotar ke tin la teni jugdam de gewa yinba 소달 가롱 제게팅라 드네 잔초 선분 주부 동바데 제와 임비 설나 드네 다데 초르시가 말이스
So Simjin Dun Chibatani Sumpati Garere?
Simjin Damjela Deking Nimbo Jurami Ba
Mare Kongtati Sotrim Sum Nanglati Sumpa.
Sumbate
Changjib Simbe Sotrim Sum.
Niju Domba Tsutram Simjin Gewa Chudu Tsutram Simjin Donzi Tsutram.
Okay. So then though these 4 may become reasons for temporarily becoming distant from or forgetting bodhicitta, they still cannot, bodhicitta cannot be lost. And so there are 4 reasons given in the Ratnakuta Sutta that exemplify this. One is that so the bodhicitta cannot be lost through forgetting because the Buddha as or the object of focus as Buddhahood is an inconceivable object. Second, because the root of virtue focusing on Buddhahood, roots of virtue focused on Buddhahood, cannot be exhausted through experience of samsaric pleasure and happiness. Third, because the Buddha nature exists in all beings as an ever-abiding nature. And fourth, because training in cultivating the resolve or bodhicitta becomes the vow of application bodhicitta, or application of the resolve through any virtuous activity. So upholding the three types of discipline practiced by bodhisattvas, which is refraining from harm, or refraining from not causing any harm, perfectly gathering virtue, and continuously working for the benefit of beings.
Oh, yeah. That day in the Janchos and Chor Jeep Joyet again, Chorgamari Sonrova. In the Jean of Joyet Latine, Janchos and Jean Roya Yorves and Yoris. That the Sanjay Kayang, Dona Sombare. Tela Carison in a Sanjay Yodo Bacapso, Merche Yuri Cook, Maila. Khenpo Tenzin ba. Da Khenpo Tenzin lan den de sa. Khenpo Tenzin series. Teni ko me pe top Khenpo re. Ne me ma chama la ko ga da nie za. Teni da kun dem ra chin da ra chin do gris ko top Khenpo ro che. Da ra yin za yin ke da le la bo khaten do chok mi sar ba. Ten da je de du. Teni Nyamaja Kok Sanje Hibadita, Tana Zachimboji Yoba, and Nubachimboji Baje Gone. Teniko da Sanje Dunla, Dako Gandar Sanje Nye Rawazala Yomba Ris. Then, okay, then a particular.
So then these four causes can become the cause for temporarily forgetting bodhicitta, but cannot, while they cannot become the cause for losing bodhicitta altogether, they can become the cause for temporarily forgetting. So there is the story in the Buddha Sutras about the individual named Simpo Che, right? Or Simpo Che Dima Mepa. So he was very strong. So he had a great strength and was very strong. Tini kongi yang me changmala korwa deb gyureve tesa.
Ta nye do
Kong
za.
top chimpo yensang.
Nye za do yoris nye za.
De kongso de meshamba tesa kole mapo yore la samgi yore de denda dorebe.
Ta ko ngajar chimbo yoro ko top chimbo yin zao ta nga su che la ke mari se de ko ma to sola pen tong chong ji nye za de jun ju de ko korang kare sam na ji de ma che u do.
So he was really strong and very sort of athletic, and so he was also very prideful, and he kind of looked down on others and who would often brag and sort of disparage others. And then one day he heard about the Buddha, and he heard that the Buddha was very powerful, or that he was this extraordinarily powerful being. And so he wanted to meet him. And so he traveled to meet the Buddha, or he sought out the Buddha.
Teko sanjin dun la de sanje ke da ko sanje la karas nye ra za la la yo ba ha ko sanje ke chin do de sanje ke khor tam je la chu song yo de ko na la yo wa re de len de da sanje ke Roma Mongol jipa yo Mongol jipa la teni nguma sanje de de jawo ke jarkang la yong do gang de la dazar rin sanje ke dazar mamon rin sa yo de du dazar rin da nang wo ke da je yo re tin da de khur hyo song Mongol jipa la sung wa re de Mongol jipa la zumchar yo ra lower de ne zumchar ke to ne Pemna Dinda ya Cherry. In that chair do, then in that, then it da Sanjay did that into Dinda the Jangling Bola, paint to Goyora. Then it took Dinda Sanjay ya Shuna. Dinda de Churanke Susu top da Pamala Suban search Jonga top Yura Zupola Nubaje. Take Churankinda the Jangling Botan and Pama Inam. Yana Churanke Jancho Sambala Subak, Semjiba, Titop Latine, Dad Tana Jandaran Bolatan and Pama in the Yahudu. Then is Sanjay oh, then Nake Pamala Subale, Jung top de Zanka Pama ins. Mato Jancho Semjibala Sobakapji, Topji, Dan Dad and Pamaina, Dele Pakse Taranwa, Topjialan, Rotogari Sone, Sanjay de Sondoa. Desung the Dago Simbo Cheke. Oh, Jancho Sambala, Tandaka top the Yobari, Jancho Semla, Tanda top the Yobari, they cook Timbaya Suta, his Jancho Sempa Timba Gis Wate, Tako Lianser Timbasu. They Timbasun, that Sanjela, Junjuya Paya, the Tin Sanjela Kuba, Deba, Tanda Shu Chebaris.
Kungta Kimbola nga tata pacher tsama koyo samare tini chirang dor dubai yangchar sungko sare kungta.
Mando kaka. Ngoni la riwa.
Pacher re go chikchina tinda di kong di Sanjay Sala lep tini mogagi bu monshi yore tini dine tes ko yore yine an tata sapo lep yo samare.
Ko Sanjay dönla lep yondu Sanjay ke ngunshi kinchin re. Sanjay ke karen chin re sena o chimbo che sewanda nga la tren rindar chi la lep yo thom dawas. Tene teha kodu Sanjay kinchin du monga pala o churang sonde nga ke nguma nga kong jarbo ke jakang na yodu. Da kong la zumo yoro da gong da chu kam no nga chitang twa jeban ro hira mala ro tere. Zumo zhangzin ma seba de Sanjay ke zumo ro de du. Sanjay jakang na yodu. Tene di chi de tene kong gan da zar zhang ren da ke zar. Da zar dong zar mambo de da zar zhang de di kong gan da de part levar mambo da pa pang ne da nang kong top zar ke da nawaris da zar zhang. Din da de mongar chipola tata rang cherkyo somaris. Konre da de chu song yog der wa de dikaps tata rang cherkyo song da mongar bu zumchar yore zumchar ke lamsang ro to ko yore sacha tela. Tene lamsang din da char khor to ko yore wa lamsang char khor yomare. Khor ong ne Sanjay la ya twa chirwa. Din da de churang ke top ke pangwa yinam then churang ke janchok semla so ba ti top gen da de pangwa yin sen Sanjay la ya twa chiris. Tambo te pa de jana. Sipo macha na la so
Okay. So as he sought out the Buddha, hearing of this really powerful person called the Buddha, then he went to find the Buddha. And when he came before the Buddha, or as he was arriving, the Buddha, with his clairvoyance, knew that he was coming, and that he was coming sort of with a feeling of competition, wanting to compete with the Buddha. And so the Buddha said to Mogayana, this Simboche is coming to compete with me. Go to my go to my old palace and find the arrow from that I used to use in archery in competitions, because when the Buddha, prior to becoming the Buddha, when he was, as he was in the process of taking a wife or taking his queen, he engaged in a lot of competition, and among those particular competitions was the practice of archery, where he was extremely skilled, an extremely skilled archer. And so Mogayana, who had also the ability of clairvoyance and also achieving sort of miraculous travel or swift-footedness, was able to instantaneously appear at the old palace in the palace of the Buddha, where he previously lived, and to retrieve that arrow. And then he returned and gave the arrow to the Buddha. And then the Buddha, who was able in the past, to shoot this arrow incredibly far distances, and he said then to Tsimpoche, if you
okay. Da sanje la churang ke ndate churang sanje churang la top je yoro ase phama ne ma chongwa ke top je yoro an ba je telam tin phama ri tam tene jancho ke sem tanda ka top ka phama yin sen twa ti du te sanje ke o ndene nga ke phama la so ba la sungwe zupu ke top te chang ke phama ri ma to ke jancho sem pe top ke phama yin na tene ndate tele ja tong ke ne ba chia yore so na sanje ke sungwaris sundu tene simpo che ke lower the jancho ke sem si ba de landra top yore den kok sem na ya ding undu ta ko ta shi jancho sem ji de wa de layang sa ding waris.
Then Mogayana said to the Buddha, with this arrow, was it through your mere physical strength that you were such a skilled archer in shooting this arrow, or was it through the power of bodhicitta that you shot the arrow? And the Buddha replied, this arrow that I shot was, for the sake of my parents, or in the competition, and the athletic competition, was only, through the strength, the physical strength of my body. But to shoot an arrow such as this, or the arrow of bodhicitta, is so much more powerful that it can travel, an exponential distance, so much further. And then at that moment, then the Simpoche remembered bodhicitta, he remembered the power of bodhicitta that he had given rise to in former lives. And in that moment of remembering, he was able to enter again into the practice.
Teni ko ga ta sanje la te pa dang gu pa hyu je pa ris Simpoche. Teni loma yin he ke sanje la twa ti ba re. O Simpoche shiba mende namjun matsama la nye za tongchong ji dendra jingkin ji ris. Teni sanje churang la ko gu yab dang depa hyu ji no kare ri so ya hyu du sanje la. Ten sanje ke o Simpoche mende Sevenmende Jewa Humala Ko ke Sanje Jindun de Janchojo de Semji Yabaris. Janchojo de Semji Bari, Di O de Diniko Drobong imba la soba nyam de Chinde Jancho Sem Ji Roya ge Jö Yete. Dini Korang na Changsung Aris, Jancho Sem Ji Roya ge Jö Yete, Korang na Changsung Ari. Teletine Tata Partu, Diniko Jancho Sem Ji Sungari. Teletine Diniko Ma Yimba Lan Tong Chong Dang Nye Zaya Danda Jebari. Terenkon Dala Yongde Ta Jancho Sem Layang Drimbari, Stinha Ji Sunga de Layang Drine, Tiniku Ngajar to Soma Hene, O Ta Danda Chungaris. Ta Te Inzang Ko Motop Chimbon Drachik Jewa Lingoya Teang, Huma Jancho Cho the Semji Yabatitop Le Chungari. Yang Kok Jancho Sem Ji Roya Jö Yet Kola Changsong Wa Inzang, Ku Jancho Sem the Ji Sungari de Train Zon de Dako, Jancho Sem the Layang Kok Din and Yamni Nang Yuzang, Tin Ta Mang Balko, Tene Jancho Sem Bateta Chagari Sulong Din, O Tendache Sayoris, Teletin, Jancho Sem Ji Roya Jö Yet Teletine, Jancho Sem Tachi to Nyam Roko Yomari, Ji Sungwa Zanri, Layang Ser Yong Yoris.
And so in that moment then of recollection, he gave rise to extraordinarily deep faith in the Buddha. So he demonstrated a great faith and respect and devotion. And so all of the other students then asked, how is it then, that this guy is ordinarily so prideful. He's so sort of prideful and arrogant. He looks down on others and disparages others, but he shows such faith and devotion and deep respect toward the Buddha. So then the Buddha explained that Rinpoche in his former lives, or in a former life or in the past, he was in the presence of the Buddha of that era, and in the presence of the Buddha, he gave rise to bodhicitta. He generated the resolve of awakening. And then following that, there was a period where he associated with negative companions or companions who were of a negative influence. And this caused his bodhicitta resolve to seemingly decline. It wasn't, in fact, that it fully declined, but that he forgot, that he became distant from his resolve for awakening, the bodhicitta resolve, through these four causes that were mentioned. And as all the four causes were complete, then for a time he became distant from the mind of bodhicitta. He forgot about it, and so therefore he became someone who looked down on others and disparaged others up to until today, when he then remembered bodhicitta. And through remembering, his pride was pacified or subdued. So he took birth as someone with a really strong physique, a really sort of a powerful and strong body. And that was due to, the virtue that the virtuous causes created during the time when he was practicing bodhicitta. But then through the four causes of forgetting, he became distant from that bodhicitta resolve, and he forgot for a time, and he sort of strayed from the bodhisattva activity, and now he has remembered. So in the future, he will become a truly great bodhisattva. And so in this way, the Buddha gave a prophecy. and that his from that point on, that his bodhicitta resolve would not diminish or decline, and so this story exemplifies the fact that while bodhicitta can temporarily be forgotten, it is never really lost.
Ah, yeah. Ta dorji song juni ba. Dripa namsum nimong dripa je song. Ta dripa song karesina nyomong ba dripa, hiji dripa, teni nyomjuk dripa lakho yore. Teni lehek dripa song yo nga so. Tan de nyomong ba dripa yin bala jikpa re song. Ta yin ki yang yitsar la di dripa namba song de tade re isi. Loga re tena song yore de Jikten Sumgön ke tsama nyomong ba dripa re song.
So then the 12th Vajra statement says that the three veils are the veil of the afflictions, or the three obscurations are the same in being the afflictive obscurations, or the obscurations of afflictive emotions. So generally, there are the three categories of obscurations that are spoken of: the obscurations of afflictive emotions, the obscurations of knowledge, or the cognitive obscurations, and the karmic obscurations. So Lord Jikten Sumgön says that all three are actually the obscurations of the afflictive emotions. Whereas others will see these three as being independent and sort of separate from one another, that there are three distinct, different kinds of obscuration.
Dan nyomong drapa sevande dan his drapa dan nyomjuk drapa shiba de pacher Jikten Sumgön ke nyomong drapa imbala jikpa la ono som yongo jumsin de charak toni sungko yoba rawa yoris.
So Lord Jikten Sumgön, in saying that all of these obscurations are actually the nature of the obscuration of affliction, or the obscurations of afflictive emotions, that isn't to say that there aren't these designations, that the designations of the obscurations of affliction, the cognitive obscurations, and the karmic obscurations are a matter of, even though they are kind of one essence, or they're all the nature of the obscuration of the afflictions, that there are differences with regard to coarse and subtle, that they're the more coarse and more subtle levels of the same obscuration.
Tenin de nyomjuk drapa shiba de kantar gopa la sopa la nyompar jukpa la jem dongkin de nyomjuk drapa de perna ngarancho singu la sopa tan singwa de gopa de ngarancho ke nyomjuk ke parche do cha de yoro.
The nyomjuk drapa under the NGK Live Laptop Drinkamento. Dacha under yana?
Sa nya ta nya na ro nyom mas ki nyom. Ja hin jin jok en jok. Nyom jok. Dripa se de sa ka ta gar.
Nore dripa ha ko song. Oh, yeah. So actually, I apologize. The classification that Khenpo is giving for the three types of obscurations is actually, if you're following the text that is mentioned in the the announcement, then they're classified differently. But in place of the obscuration of karma, actually Khenpo is mentioning the obscurations to the absorptions. So this is referring to the faults of, say, agitation and torpor, like sloth and torpor, and their opposite that create an obstacle or obscuration to the meditative absorption.
Teni shiji dripa shibande ju lama nante sone. Korsum nampar tokpa gang teni shiji driparandu sunjenderes.
So then, with regard to the cognitive obscurations or the obscurations of knowledge, it is said in the Uttara Tantra, any conception of the three spheres is held to be a veil of the objects of knowledge. Any conception such as stinginess is held to be a veil of the afflictions.
Then nyumong dripande taraju lama nante yanjar kareson sina serna laso namdo gang teni nyumong dripandu sondere.
And so in the Uttara Tantra, it mentions actually what both of these are. So first, then is the explanation of the cognitive obscurations, and then any conception such as stinginess is held to be the veil of the afflictions or the obscurations of afflictive emotions.
Sonza dan di kantayang de tamji tarde na docha yedang temuk doso la tau yong yore. Dosu nangge zo temuk la tau yong yong teni sanje ke jachiro ba kendo na kareson sina temuk jungwa ndu tang chos te da andro janda te chompo chen zangwanda te da malen der nge hik so.
So more precisely, the three are what can be regarded as the obscurations of afflictive emotions are essentially the three, anything stemming from the three poisons of desire, anger, or attachment, aversion, and ignorance. And so, as is said in the Sutra of the Vast Play, desire and anger arising from delusion are like the enemy of all of beings. They are like a robber or a thief dressed up in fine dress. All these I have here destroyed.
Tega na yinke jachiro pundo tega na tinang to kareson resena nyumong zawa banyar je dongar sungun jong teda ngender hirap tamba ye tongja jin mali tong song hirap den tongja kzo skodwa.
And so then the same sutra goes on to say, with the iron plow of wisdom, I have completely removed all the pain of suffering arising from the afflictions along with their dormant roots. And so the plow here, the iron plow, is the plow of wisdom, or is wisdom. It is wisdom that uproots the afflictions.
Ya ta de zang diksaro ta ngai no mambo hyudero ti ko lo ngai ni je hyu chawar his de ba kaps ta chuksom ba de ngo dimba.
So Khenpo says that before or already there was a lot of discussion dealing with the cognitive obscurations and that he already has taught on. So he won't go into it again with much detail here. So we can just go to the 13th statement.
Ate chukson ba de zawa dorji song jisi tribu tondam dimbe drep song. Jisi tribu tondam dimbe drep song. Tandala dambo yinke. Ta kare song na chuni ge dembande drumta ngimba tanje pa ka. Tene drumta ka ne tene da drumta zambo ji tsor kong de chubar sena. Tene chuni ge dembande toge yore tanda gong yore is. Tene Jikten Sumgön sonde ta chuni ge dembande kantar driven ta karen ro na tamje ge chuni ge demba dren ro gre song. Dan de dorji song gang la che hyu simbare drum tan zimba tamje ranju ba song dwa ta de jigba yin za kantar zangbur zimbin zimba drum ta je zangbur zimbin zimba on zon de tek chuni ge demba to wala drgre song.
The drupta tamche rangjupa leu kaparnang layuna?
Drupta zimba ranjupa patte te gonda te de ningla pachertin ro chai sorry sotak chon che yo marwa.
Re de laptang de injikelat kande tiko na samsung de
Ale the yash narani
lapcho pacher yeah okay so then the 13th verse or the 13th Vajra statement is all the tenet systems obscure the ultimate truth, or all systems of tenets obscure the truth. And so what this is in response to is that, or what others, according to the view of others, there is the thought that through refuting those tenet systems which are imperfect or are mistaken, and through fully coming to understand and uphold the tenet system which is a sort of pure, then one comes to realize the true nature through analysis of these views and understanding that occurs through this process. But Lord Jikten Sumgön claims that as long as there is adherence to a view of a philosophical view or tenet system, then that it obscures the reality of the true nature. And so actually this also relates to one of the Vajra statements that came earlier, and I apologize because I don't know how it was translated in this context, but it's essentially like all philosophical schools or tenet systems are like one's own views, or kind of like our opinions, I think.
Paja deri nandu tar nga trumta te yapo in samin zimba ji un zonte teni ta kantar te ngarang tsu trumta te la tapar din zib tanzin yo za metek pa se ju te shela yo mari nang metek pa cha de yo ri song shi set metek pa se ju te chlo ji bo li yo ba ta manjin si so so ka trumta te la so so trumta te yapo in san zimba un zonte teni tak pa ta din do la su zimba zinkin ke metek pa de cha ro ko yo ri song.
That's all. So essentially what is meant here is that if there is grasping, if there is fixation, then one becomes like anyone who has sort of that grasping or holding to one's own views becomes an outsider, becomes like a tirtika. And so generally there's this distinction between outsiders and insiders, or in other words, tirtikas and Buddhists. But even within the different schools of Buddhist thought, when there is this grasping to one's own view, thinking my view is the best, then this doesn't, one becomes like the same as an outsider, a tirtika.
Tanda Jitang de Telobak Narobal Sumba Rivande Tamje Donda Jibare But Nawe Mechin Shinpe Ching Shimba Chuji Naroba Song Shimba Yadangla Davichi La Shimba Song Songina Deni Taten Koala Jingzi Jocharo Yoruba De Inzang Shimba Yun Zong de Deni Chuni Dimba the Debro Yori, Trumtala Shimba Inari, Tawala Shimba Inari, Nyamyong La Shimba Inari, Dan Koala Shimba Ina Ajanjarva.
So, for instance, as Tilopa said to Naropa, my child, it is not phenomena that binds, it is a fixation that binds. Therefore, you should undo the binding chains of fixation. So if there is fixation really in any context, even in the context of Dharma, if there is fixation to the Yidam deity, then even practicing the Yidam deity can potentially become a binding cause of a samsara, or can bind one to samsara. Likewise, if there is fixation with regard to one's philosophical views or tenet systems, if there is fixation with regard to the experiential view, if there is fixation in regard to experience and meditation, fixation, if there is fixation present, then it becomes the phenomena of samsara. It leads it becomes the binding fetters of samsara.
Ta Chuni Chidimba Lada Madava de la Karen Gores in a data Pakpa Dubales. Kan yik yuba mai tene miji cha jiba namji deta yu da mi parchi tenge chir tangson
That.
Oh yeah. Yu da mi ban deni mi pichu yinde janchu semba gangin dehi mi parnjons dan degder. Te paja tang samaranya chila. Paja nge tang ma gongda nge timeng se che tebyon chil te tang mudo nge.
The Jangchub Sempa Ngung Gita or Jangchub Ningpo Shupa Kare Gongta?
Denge chil katsang tang me da de ho.
Gongta che tesa che droge yore. Yeah.
Dan de dubzi der ngombo phamo drbe katsang chil phuyamba. Drumta ta de major chang. To pun do lo ma to ba. Ngo ni ji drba me. To pu chukar to zanna. Drumta hin bin du dung yes. There is.
So, as Pagmo Drupa said, however many different systems of tenets there may be, apart from being systems for holding opinions, nothing is truly established by them. When one realizes thoughts as Dharmakaya, one will overcome one's orientation of attachment to systems of tenets.
Tiana yin gen Jikten Sumgön Karisong Risina. Drumta lo yin dupa las. Sanje gongbar tripa nam. Deni tokbar jorne jang rinzin rangsar tanze sor song.
And likewise, Lord Jikten Sumgön said, may those who confuse the mental knots of the tenet systems with the Buddha's intention realize the true reality, and may their grasping to thoughts become self-purified.
Tene tegana yinka Drigung lingba hinjong jinga hiram jungnera Sumgön tokpu horgol tang jek chimbu rigbu tokpa dang ni dembe druppa trimta dang som de toni singi drasum yin song.
Likewise, Chinga Sherab Jungne said, the traps and sidetracks of the concepts of contemplating and practicing, the concept of being touched by the great three, and the systems of tenets that are established by truths, these are the three enemies of the emptiness lion.
Ta de tsor dun tara de parchu jitaba ke tsema namdar na dan da songre dayu na ni yin tu hi da yin chalen zin dang Teni dang nen derpa le nipa tamjin jungwa yin song. Ten za trimta la da dun zin na yang dan zin ri. Teni da tu yim he yung yo re. Tawa so nyam to tawa la da dun zin songwa yin na yang. Tela teni da tu yim he ke le ga te yung yo re. Tela teni Tam koro ke nipa tamjin jungu yo zang Trimta tang tawa la zang yin ma je bar Nisme bu ta tong to ne Tanda chungwa ina Tini te ta chunji ji tenpa la Tini ngu tu churzi ke jo tso te cha da yoro yisong
And so this is then brought together by or summarized by Dharmakirti in the Pramanavartika when he says, if there is a notion of self, then there is the notion of other. From the pair of self and other arises a grasping and aversion. From combining these two, all the faults arise, or from the combination of these two, all the faults arise. And so essentially, the point here is grasping, grasping, which is based on this dualistic concept of self and other. So if one fixates or has a attachment to one's own philosophical school or tenet with an attitude of self-clinging as one's own view, or if one has grasping, an attitude of self-clinging that is mixed with the concept of or one's view based on experience and realization, because there is grasping present, there is dualistic grasping, then it becomes the fault of samsara. And so to not regard whether it is a philosophical tenet system or the ultimate view, this only can lead to or really become the manifestation of absolute truth or the true nature of reality when it is empty of any grasping or empty of any trace of fixation.
Tandi odo dorji song juye ba Nin tu ji jiang ne luk cho jing tong song der ba Dan de yin ke kare song sna o nin tu de so da ke ne luk to yo ma re si da wa to yo ma re sen tong chong jing ro ro da nin tu se wa ne lo ba Dan ji tin song gong song de nin tu ke ne luk cho jing tong yo re song 다 내로 초제 가르스나 간작 담이 또 요리 손다 따와난 간작 담이 추주 담이 또 거드 간작 담이 또 요리 손래
And so then the number 15 or 14, the Vajra statement 14, says the Shravakas too perceive one part of the original state of the fundamental nature. And so or the listeners also see a limited portion of the actual reality. So there are others who claim that Shravakas or listeners or hearers do not realize the view. They don't realize their view is not the realization of the absolute view. But Lord Jikten Sumgön says that actually it is indeed the realization of the absolute view. It is the realization of an aspect of, or a partial realization of the view. And that there are the two types of selflessness, the selflessness of the individual and the selflessness of phenomena. So Shravakas, while they do not realize the selflessness of phenomena, they realize the selflessness of the individual.
Zungwa dutrin chami si solo ke zungwa ke yonda ta tamje ranjin chi madrpa chami ni de certo teni nang zimbe sem mata pa la so pa tamje ha ko thoni teni tela chami chapa mi pa ke teni yishi te ta bo khondu chundu teni kanza ga dami te tar chino to ga yore song.
And so, as their realization accords with the teachings, or what is taught according to the Buddha's speech, and all of the Buddha's speech expresses the fundamental nature of reality, or the fundamental nature of phenomena. And so, with regard to the understanding of Shravakas, they recognize, or they have their understanding of outer phenomena, or outwardly manifesting objects, is broken down to the partless particles. So there's the understanding or of emptiness down to the partless particles. And then when it comes to the inwardly apprehending mind, there is understanding of the indivisible moments of consciousness, or in other words, the impermanence of the mind. And so then through non-attachment, or through overcoming attachment, they realize the selflessness of the individual.
Dadel lobjong chipakaps tan dela nintuke kanzak dami to matos drawing mambo yore tereng arans drawing ke omara.
So lojong katla tikari de super draw yorebe, or drawing sena the discussion draw.
Debate lamaro.
Yeah.
Debate should chigere that's okay. Nintuke kanza dami tori mari teni kanza dami to no toni to gori mari sen mambo hu. Drawing angres.
So when studying, or when studying these such topics, there's a lot of discussion and debate around, just what exactly the level of realization is for Shravakas. Whether in realizing the selflessness of the individual, whether this is the realization of emptiness or not. And what sort of characterizes the the different levels of their views.
Dan de so la cer jarang ba ina. So ko lo la cer jarang na. Den yin tu so ka che to sa ri te sam tang rang o nga lo de so za lan cham la de ba yin. Nge ma ta ba te cham la gong ba yin. Tin jer chu ni la so ba te cham la gong ba yin. Teni da mi ba te cham la gong ba yin. Teni nga la nyam nyong ka ri chi so. Yin tu so ka che cham la nyam li nang ya. Te koran so la ka che che ke ju sa ri. Ta tan ra wi no so tang te so jar na so nyam li yong kin tam je ke hyen da. Te tan ra wi jar na teni ni tu ka che to yo pa che. A ha ko si ba wa.
So actually, to really understand the level of realization for Shravakas is not actually something that can really be debated so much when there is little true meditative experience there. Because when comparing to one's own experience, for instance, if thinking, one stays in retreat and how much was like, even in with regard to one's own experience, how much understanding of impermanence, like true understanding of impermanence has arisen. How much has our understanding of the 12 links of dependent origination, to what extent has that developed? How much has the true experience of, the truth of selflessness actually been developed? So really, actually, only in terms of having, sort of some semblance of experience, and then also recognizing actually how developed the experience of Shravakas actually is, then only in that context can one really understand.
Sanje ke long la ne ta nin tu ke kanza dami to ba te kare gdrisina chike to nin tu nam ji chuyen da nga ye chuyen chungbar chik nin tu nam ji namdur da nga ye number draw chik son dan de kan to ko yores.
So in fact, even the Buddha has said that when with regard to the realization of Shravakas, the Dharma Dhatu of Shravakas and my Dharma Dhatu match to the point of sameness. The complete liberation of the Shravakas and my own complete liberation are the same.
Oh yeah, oh to ji che. Te na ya igro. Jambar Babu Jadran Jamba Dan Gundo Zambo de An de Jun de Da Kunju Jesu Dalas Gawan de Da Danjera Ngo. May every being ailing with a disease be freed at once from every malady. May all the sickness that afflicts the living be instantly and permanently healed. Thank you very much. See you 3 p.m.
3 p.m. Okay, thank you.